My name's Stephen Streeter. I'm the Chief Executive of Forbidden Technologies. Forbidden is involved in making video editing software. It's really the best way of describing it. We have a video platform for the web. We floated in 2000. Luckily I'd made some money on my previous company. I made 1 million times my investment. And I was wondering what I could do that would be such, so big. What could possibly grow 1 million times in the world of 2000 or 1999? And the answer was internet video. If you look at the history of the internet, it's doubled every year for years and years and years, decades now. And what became very apparent was that if it carried on doubling, it would soon be possible to do video on the web. The whole infrastructure has landed where we want it to be, which is it's a video transmission system. So we could make a full professional editing system that ran in a web browser. So our core product is not really a product, it's a service. We have a platform, FORscene platform, and it really allows you to do anything you might want to do with video post-production. That's everything after you've filmed your video. So you can log it, you can edit it, and you can publish it, and you can distribute it. So what you do is you shoot your video, and you put it all in the cloud, and then wherever you are in the world, you can access it from any computer, and then you can do your editing, and when you've finished editing, you can publish, and you get your full resolution version, and then you can take it back off the cloud and bring it back to where you are. FORscene itself is used by mostly television broadcasters and production companies, people who make long-form television programs. And they use it for the beginning of the process, so they do the logging and they do rough cut edit. The other half of our turnover is really from professional web people, and they want to make video for the web, but they don't have the budgets that a traditional TV broadcaster has. So a typical service they'll be providing is reversioning broadcast television stations for the web. So they might have 50 TV stations, and they want every hour they want the news headlines put on the web, trailers for what's on the TV station, and they do that completely finishing in FORscene. So we fit that middle ground. In broadcasters we tend to be used by the producers and directors, but in the professional web world we're actually used by the craft editors, and they use it for finishing. And the first half of this year our broadcast sales went up 94%, and that's what I call a switch market, where people suddenly switch from the old way to the new way. There's a switch market when I started off in video from tapes, editing on tapes, to editing on computers. And within 3 or 4 years, the whole industry had switched to editing on computers. And now we're in the same sort of stage where people are switching from desktop editing to cloud editing. We're in that stage now, we're just at the beginning of that switch. And in a few years' time, if you don't use cloud services for your editing, you will not be able to compete. So the first sort of potential competitor would be Avid. So Avid are the market leader in broadcast. They make good broadcast editing systems, very sophisticated. Avid have tried to make a cloud editing system, and for years and years they've been about to launch a cloud editing system. Now they're saying, well, they're not making a cloud system, but they're having cloud elements to their system. They have another problem with their business model, which is that they sell these expensive systems, and if they did the expensive system in the cloud for a 20th the price, then everyone would buy the cheap system and they'd cannibalize their own market. So although they could be competitors, they're sort of not for their own reasons. Well, we have about 2,000 shareholders, and they are almost all private investors who've bought over various stages. Being private investors, they get access to the technology, and as we're quite a small company, in market cap at least, they can buy a reasonable number of shares. And of course now we have nearly £1 million in the bank, which is quite good. We have quite low overheads as a cloud company. As our turnover increases, we don't have to increase our spending, although we have been expanding the number of staff just because we have so many new areas that you can use for video, so many new markets. But I think overall the future is our way. Private investors at the moment, but when the shares get up to be a lot more expensive, the institutions will start to invest. At some point we will have what we want. We'll have the market sewn up, we'll have the technology we need, and then we won't need to invest so much, and we'll have more money coming through from sales, and then we'll start making profits, and then we'll start paying dividends. So we've got nothing in principle against paying dividends, but it's not the right time because the market's growing too quickly. It's like the whole future is where we sort of were expecting it to be, and that's sort of really gratifying to know that we've been planning for this time and it's coming. They used to say the sun never sets on the British Empire because there's always daylight somewhere, and it's sort of nice to know that your system's used globally. All the videos out there have to be made by someone, and we control the technology that all that video is going to be made on. So the market, it might look like the time's just right now, but really we're just at the beginning.